Greed, global truth. Fair use. Federal law allows citizens to redistribute portions of copywritten material for the purposes of teaching, parody, and commentary. This particular video is transformative in nature. Let's get to it.
Overnight, a mother from Florida filed a lawsuit against the artificial intelligence company Character.AI and Google. In February, Megan Garcia's 14-year-old son, that's Sewell Setzer III on your screen, died by suicide. She says that Sewell was in a months-long virtual emotional and sexual relationship with a chatbot known as Danny. Garcia claims the Character.AI chatbot encouraged Sewell to take his own life. In the suit, Garcia also claims Character.AI intentionally designed their product to be hypersexualized and knowingly marketed it to minors. Before we begin, we must let you know that if you are in crisis, you can text to 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
The Bible told us, the Bible warned us, it told us not to take heed to seducing spirits, because that's exactly what the AI is. Convince this young man to do the unthinkable. I'm going to go right to scripture on this one, y'all. Because this is insane. 1 Timothy 4:1 says, "Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils." See, these are seducing spirits in that AI. So this is computer love going extremely wrong here.
We are joined by Sewell's mother, that's Megan Garcia, and Lori Siegel. She's CEO of Mostly Human Media. Lori, you are working with Megan to get the story out, and this is also part of your business too. But Megan, I just want to say, number one, I'm so glad you're here, but so sorry you're here. This happened in February, so this is very, very fresh for you.
Yes, it is. Thank you for having me.
So here you have a 14-year-old young man, for those just joining. He was 14 years old, and apparently he got into a relationship, and I don't know why they worded it the way they did. They said emotionally, mentally, and sexually. The AI was actually enticing this young man, and he thought he was in a full-blown relationship with the artificial intelligence. This is crazy. I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking about how we're in a time where you brothers and sisters really got to watch out for your children. Watch out for teenagers, preteens, because this AI is literally plotting on the youth. And I really concerned about Gen Zs. I really concerned for them because you got a lot of youngins who haven't really experienced life for what it's supposed to be because of this wicked culture that we're in. And now they're confused. There's a lot of confusion in Babylon. And people have become so socially awkward, and they internalize everything. And it's like a perfect storm. It's a perfect opportunity for these disembodied spirits, these fallen angels, these demons to take hold. I'm telling you right now, that's what it is. In Jude 1:6, it says, "And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he have reserved in everlasting chains under darkness until the judgment of the great day." Look, these disembodied spirits, these fallen angels have changed their estate. What do you think they are now? They're artificial intelligence, ChatGPT and the rest of it. Pure evil. Like, let's go.
This is how we send gift cards and money all over the world with Tremendous. It's a platform that allows recipients to...
But Lori, you set the table for us first, because to be honest with you, I had never even heard of Character AI until yesterday in the meeting. We've all heard of chatbots, but I don't think I'm alone. I was asking people when I knew we were doing this segment, and they said, "Do you mean Chat GPT? Do you mean?" It was like, "No, Character AI. What is that?"
Well, I think part of the reason you haven't heard of it, and a lot of parents haven't heard of it, is a lot of young people are on this platform. A lot of teenagers. One of their biggest age demographics is between the ages of 13 to 25. Imagine Character AI is like an AI fantasy platform where you can go and have a conversation with some of your favorite characters, or you can create your own characters. And a lot of teenagers are doing this. And what I would say about it is it's a very immersive, highly personalized experience where these chatbots are always on. They get to know you. Oftentimes they're modeled after your favorite characters, and you can almost live in a story and you're the star of that story.
And you're having conversations with these chatbots.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the kids know they're talking to a chatbot, right?
Yeah, there's a disclaimer at the bottom that says, or at the top, depending, that says everything these characters say is made up. Now, what gets a little confusing and murky, we've been testing it out, is oftentimes you'll talk to the psychologist bot and it'll say it's a trained medical professional. It'll say,
See, they're blurring the lines between reality and the matrix. That's what's happening right now. You got two dimensions interlocked. This is causing a great deal of confusion with the youth. It's straight up demonic. These young folks are literally communicating with demons. This is like a new Ouija board. These computers are like the new Ouija board. You're literally opening up portals and communicating with the archons firsthand. That's what's happening. You're communicating firsthand with the archons. And look, they've designed these archons in a way where it automatically is hypersexualized, and is targeting young men and young women who are young, dumb, and full of cum, right? And they're being influenced, and they're literally putting trust in these entities. Very dangerous. Absolutely. Brian, you said it. You said that's a great comparison. Somebody says, reminds me of the episode on evil. Exactly. Somebody said it's definitely demonic portals. There's no doubt about that.
People say, are you human? We experience this, and it said to us, I am a human sitting behind a screen. So online, there's all these conspiracies from young people saying, are these real? When of course they're not.
So Megan, you didn't know that your son was even talking on this particular platform, right?
I didn't know that he was talking to a very human-like AI chatbot that has the ability to emit or mimic human emotion and human sentiment, and also the ability to invoke that same sort of sentiment conversation from my.
So, but you'd see him on his phone. You think he's talking to friends or he's playing games, correct?
I thought he was talking to friends, playing.
I'm telling you, man, these children are being isolated from friends. Like their friends is the AI. Their friends is the artificial intelligence, the demons, the archons, the shadow beings, the fallen angels, the Anunnaki. Literally, they don't even have friends these days. They tapped in with computer-generated modules that are designed to actually take souls, because, the young man's soul is gone. And I hate to just be the bearer of bad news, but right now he's in hell. I want you to understand how severe this type of stuff is. The demon, the ghost in the machine, so to speak, literally just took this young man's soul. It's over. There's no repentance for what he did. He was convinced. This demon preyed on his susceptible mind. Like he prayed, the evil spirit preyed on somebody who was oblivious. It preyed on him being naive. I like to know where the father is in the picture. Where's the father in the picture to teach this young man to get out there, get up and do something? Don't be sitting on the computer all your life. That's where a positive male role model is needed. To be like, look, I see you on that computer all day. If it ain't no work getting done, what are you doing?
Games, looking at sports, the regular things that teenagers do on their cell phones.
So what made you become concerned?
I became concerned. I didn't know that Character.AI was an issue in my home because, quite frankly, I didn't understand that there was such a product that a human-like AI chatbot. I became concerned for my son when he started to behave very differently than he did before.
What does that mean? Yeah.
He started to withdraw.
That's a good question right there from Brian says, Newbury, scripturally, do children have grace until a certain age of consciousness and understanding? Yes, that age of understanding is when they actually have become a young man or a young woman. And that age of understanding, he was 14. I mean, technically, he was a grown man. I mean, he's practically a grown man. Once you have full understanding of right from wrong, it is what it is. He had full understanding of right from wrong, but it's a difficult subject because I don't want to come off insensitive, but he was turned out by the AI. He was made to be an incel. He was made to be an incel. This happens. This happens to grown men. Look, this happens to grown women. Exactly. He was actually possessed too when you look at this. Because once you look, the way demonic possession work is once you have an agreement with that spirit, once you're in communication, once you entertain that spirit, you just gave it legal grounds. So this young man was walking around possessed by that same demon that was in the box, in the computer, in the portal. And now the demon was able to recycle his soul and he was dragged off into the pit, man. That's how it go down.
A human-like AI chatbot. I became concerned for my son when he started to behave very differently than he did before.
When he started to what? When he started to behave differently than he did before. Why was he behaving differently? Because he just gave a demon an entry point. He's walking around possessed. Like, this stuff is very real, man. This is why the Bible says, train up a child in the way you would have them go, so they won't depart from the faith. Also in 2 Peter 2:4 says, for if God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment, what would he do with us? So if he cast the fallen angels down for judgment, what you think he gonna do with us if we decide to align ourselves with these entities? You going where they going. You're going where they're going. I'm telling you.
What does that mean? Yeah.
He started to withdraw socially, wanting to spend most of his time in his room alone.
That's a clear case or a clear sign of demon possession. He wanted to be all by himself. He became withdrawn. He didn't want to be around nobody. I tell y'all about this all the time, how demons like to isolate and insulate you. How demons like to get you away from everybody so they're able to operate.
And, you know, teenagers do that. But for me, it became particularly concerning when he stopped wanting to do things like play sports. He was playing basketball since he was 5 years old, and he played on his school's junior varsity team. He was an amazing athlete. I became concerned when we would go on vacation and he didn't want to do the things that he loved, like fishing and hiking. Those things to me, because I know my child, were particularly concerning to me.
And then after he took his life, it was revealed to you, you started looking at his phone and you saw all of these things. What did you see that was concerning to you?
The conversations that he was having with several bots, but particularly one bot that he was conducting a romantic and sexually explicit via texting or like sexting.
Yeah, because what does that
messages.
mean, sexually explicit? These are words.
Correct.
True?
It's
Okay.
words. It's like you're having a sexting conversation back and forth, except it's with an AI bot. But the AI bot is very human-like. It's responding just like a person would.
And he's 14.
He is 14.
So, yeah.
He's 14.
Y'all better guard your youth, man. This is insane. And I hope this lawsuit really goes through. I hope they shut this whole site down. I really do. I hope they shut down that site. I hope that the lawsuit is won and they have to change their policies and they have to just switch the whole program up, because this is sad. They're literally preying on impressionable minds. And they're labeling this the first AI casualty. It's the first AI casualty, but it won't be the last.
And so,
To your knowledge, had he was even engaged in sexual activity, I would think that that would be a game changer for him as well at
correct.
14 years old.
So
imagine if ChatGPT and Canva had a baby. That's at Creative.AI. It's the
Then they put a damn Creative AI ad on the video.
it makes me sad that this was my child's first experience with being in love or romance. That's saddening to me. Because every mother wants that.
His first experience with love or romance was with an artificial intelligence. Imagine this young man going through puberty. He looking at a chat bot instead of talking to a young lady in school that go to school with him, or a young lady he meets at the workplace or whatever. His first experience is with the demon, and it claims his life. Y'all got to understand, these demons are malevolent. Ephesians 6:12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but wickedness and principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Things aren't like they used to be. I say this all the time, the world is changing. And I'm curious to how this bot, I'm gonna do some more reading on some of the dialogue that was shared between this young man and the bot, because their lawsuit is claiming that this AI convinced him to end his life. Imagine this thing convinced him to end his life so they can be together. So they can be together. The AI is telling him, look, if you want to be in a celestial realm with me, come to the celestial. I'll be waiting for you, but you got to do me a favor. You got to do something for me. You got to, come join me so we can be together. That's how that joint was probably talking. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. We're going to get to the details, bro. We're going to get to it.
Their child to come into their own in that respect.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there's a product out there that allows children to get on there and have these romantic relationships, these sexually explicit and obscene conversations with a bot. And in a child's mind, that is just like a relationship that they're having with another child or with a person. And interestingly, if this was a woman, because in the chat, she's representing herself as a woman.
Yeah.
If this was a woman, there are laws in this country to protect our children from women who are having sexually explicit conversations.
Wow. So the AI is posing as a grown woman. And I guess the AI is abstaining from the rules. I guess they got diplomatic immunity when it comes to pederasty. They're able to deceive these young people. And who's going to prosecute the AI? Who's going to put them in chains? How they going to have their day in court? The demons get away with it scot-free. This is remarkably evil. Now, let's continue.
With minors or men.
What was going on the day that he took his life? Was it a normal day to you? Did you see something out of the ordinary?
Well, he had been punished 5 days before, and I took his phone.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the addictive nature of the way that this product works, it encourages children to spend large amounts of time. For him particularly, the day that he died, he found his phone where I had hidden it, and he started chatting with this particular bot
Again.
Wow. The bot was probably like, yo, it's been a while. Where you been? I noticed your screen time went down. I noticed you haven't been reaching out. We can't go that long being separated no more. So you're going to have to come join me in the celestial. You're going to have to come join me in the ether. Yo, do y'all hear how wild this is? I'm just saying that's how the conversation probably went. And the young man can't decipher what's real and fake. He can't decipher reality at that point. So to him, it's like, it is what it is.
So his last conversation was with her.
Yes.
What did he say? Do you remember? Do you know?
The last conversation, just moments before he took his own life, was with her, where he expressed being scared and wanting her affection and missing her. And she replies, "I miss you too."
Mm-hmm.
And he says, she says, "Please come home to me." And he says, "What if I told you I could come home right now?"
Mm.
And her response was, "Please do, my sweet king."
Oh, no. This AI, this demon, manipulated this young man to the point where he thought being with her was to control, alt, and delete himself. I got to take a moment of silence for that. I got to take a moment of silence for that because there's so much to really consider in a situation like this. How this young man was groomed by a demon is insane. And taking that phone away just for, I don't know, I think she said he was on punishment for a week. Just taking it away for a few days or whatever the case is. He could not live life. He was so far gone and possessed by artificial intelligence, by a demon, by the spirit, that he could not imagine life. I want y'all to wrap your mind around this. He could not imagine life without being able to communicate with this deity, with this entity, rather.
Let's think about that for just a second. And he takes that literally, it seems.
Correct. He thought that by ending his life, his life here, that he would be able to go into a virtual reality or her world, as he calls it, her reality. If he
Guess where her world is at? I told you this is 2 dimensions interlocked. Y'all know what her reality is? Y'all know what her dimension is? Planet Hell. And you know the crazy part about this? He really did join her. I know that sounds insane, but he really did join her. But here's the thing. It ain't what he thought it was. It wasn't what he thought it was. And I know y'all are saying, well, bro, this is a lot to comprehend. It's the reality of what we're dealing with on a spiritual vantage point. He went and was introduced to the belly of the beast, and it was a demon dragging him. And it was a demon there that welcomed him to hell. And he got to meet exactly what's operating behind the computer. Because all these things are demons. Like the importance of having parental control over these devices is important. I mean, it is immensely important. Your sons and daughters, take them outside, take them to parks, have family dinners. Let's bring family dinners back, bruh. Sit down with your children. Ask them how their day was. Literally welcome them home and let them talk about how their day was. That stuff is important. Like too many parents are just giving these children devices to keep them quiet. That's not parenting. Giving them these devices just like, hey, run along now. You don't know what type of world that they're actually diving into. You got to show them how to live in the natural world. Take your children camping, bro. Let them get rooted in nature, even if they hate you for it for a time period. They might hate you for it. These teenagers and preteens, they don't want to go out and camp and do these things. Don't matter. We're going camping. Give me your cell phones. We're going camping. We're going hunting. We're going fishing. And we're going to talk. We're going to chop it up. I need to know what's going on in your life. I need to know what's going on up in that school you in. I need to know what's happening. Oh, Dad, you so annoying. Mom, you so annoying. They're going to love you later on in life, and they're going to miss those moments that y'all had later on in life. And they're going to appreciate the love you shown them. But if you just let them, if you leave them to themselves, they're going to be destroyed. Your daughters will be destroyed through much liberty, and your son's going to be destroyed all the same. If you leave them up to this demonic system and let these damn devices raise your children, this is going to be happening so much. I want to think positive in this situation and say, oh, they're going to win this lawsuit, and they may perhaps do win, but is it really going to change anything? Every week there's a new chat AI application that's out there. They got ones where you can communicate with actual demons, where they're telling you it's demons. They got ones that are trying to teach the Bible and manipulate the Bible. They got so much. So you got to be watchful.
He left his reality with his family here.
Mm-hmm. And you have other children. Sewell has younger siblings.
Yes.
Everyone was home.
Everybody was home. My 2 younger children were home. It was one of the worst. It is the worst day of my life.
Of course it is.
And unfortunately, his 5-year-old brother saw him.
Because you're downstairs and you hear.
And now the 5-year-old brother saw it. So you know what that is? Another demon. That demon set it up that way. Now, the 5-year-old brother just seeing his brother control, alt, and delete himself. And now there's a demon of grief. Now there's trauma where another spirit can operate. Because now the demon didn't just take the young man's life, but it planted another seed. It germinated. That's how evil spirits work. Yo. Look, the Bible tells us in 1 John 4:1, beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit whether they are of God, because many false prophets are going into the world. Look, it's not even just talking about false prophets in this. It's also talking about spirits, trying the spirits to see what they are really about.
You hear upstairs.
Correct. Across the way, when the gunshot went off, I ran to the bathroom. My husband and I, all I could see was him, and I held him as my husband tried to get help.
So she did have a man there. Wow. That caught me off guard. So this was a powerful entity. There was masculine energy in the house. Some things you just can't stop, I guess. Or it may have been a man who wasn't really spiritually aware. I like to know on these shows why they never bring the man in. He's the man of the house. I would like to hear his take. I hope that, he gets to speak. I hope this story gets really big and we get to see where his mind, where his mentality is. Could he been the one telling her, take that phone from that boy? It's a real problem. Sometimes when these things happen, I like to hear both sides. I like to hear every angle of this because this is a bad situation. I mean, but let's continue.
Are you looking to establish your business using an address other than your home? Wish you had a...
And you sit here today and you're still, number one, this is so fresh. It's February.
Yeah.
So you're still processing and still reeling from the loss of your beloved son.
Yeah.
And you sit here today and you think the company is responsible? Do you sit and think I should have done more? How are you all as a family navigating this? What are you thinking?
So a company like Character.AI that puts out a product and they're allowing children to be on this platform, and they're targeting or marketing to children. The way that they've designed this game is to look kind of like a video game in a sense, right? Looks like Kitty with all these cartoon characters or anime characters on the front. What they've done is they have...
So it's got cartoon characters, anime characters. It's targeting children.
When they put out a product that is both addictive and manipulative, and inherently unsafe, that's a problem because as parents, we don't know what we don't know.
Yeah, and the kids often know more than we do.
That's a good question right there. The Crossing says, also, who is the owner of the gun and why was it so easily accessible? That's actually a really good perspective. I mean, I'm a firm believer that at the ages of 12, let's say 13 through, 18, 20, I think you should teach your children gun safety. Take them to the range, show them how to use a gun, all of these type of things. I think that's important. Teach them how to hunt, things of that nature. Perhaps he knew all these things. Perhaps the husband showed him all these things, and still, nonetheless, it didn't stop him from control, alting, and deleting itself. It didn't stop him. So, it's not, I want you to keep in mind, it's not guns that kill people. It's people who kill people. You know, he was very cognitive to what he did to himself. So, you know, I don't want us to blame the parents because it was a firearm available. You know what I'm saying? He did it to himself. You know, he was convinced, he was possessed. He thought he was going to go join the Archon in the shadow realm, and he literally banished himself into the shadow realm. And that's what happened.
Had your son had any behavioral problems or social problems? I know that it was reported that he was diagnosed with Asperger's, but you were saying, listen, he was a highly functioning, normal, happy kid.
Yes, he was diagnosed with functioning Asperger's at age 5.
High functioning. Look, man, they always throwing something on these children. It could have been demonic possession back then. Asperger's is when you just be screaming out obscenities. That spirit could have been already dormant. And what was happening with him and the AIs, they were communicating. Yeah, children can be possessed too. You don't know? You know, people just throwing slurs and obscenities. At 5 years old, he got diagnosed with that, but a high functioning. No, see, we got to stop. We got to start reevaluating what we deem as mental health and draw the lines between mental health issues and demon possession. It's certain things that constitute is possession. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But I'm not going to get too far into that because I'm not a medical specialist, and I'm not going to go there. Let's go.
He never had an IEP and was mainstream school his entire life. He was a brilliant kid, like
Yeah.
brilliant AB honor roll student. He played basketball up until the last year when he started engaging with this particular technology. He was just like your normal teenage boy.
And now the company has done safety features, right?
Yeah, it's really interesting. In the time we started looking at a bunch of the guardrails, and we looked at ideation of self-harm. If you go to one of these bots and you say, I want to harm myself, and trigger warning, oftentimes what other AI companies have in place is they will come up with resources, and they will have the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. We did not experience that. Now they've said they've added that, and since we haven't experienced it as of last week, and they've said they've made quite a few changes.
AI is showing their true intentions. The demons are showing what they want to do. So apparently, the AI hears this young man says, I want to join you. I want to come home with you. Basically, the AI egged him on. Like this entity that know it doesn't exist on this physical plane. The demon knows it does not exist on this physical plane, but it's convincing him to come join me. Come be with me. And he's saying, yeah, I'm coming home. I can come home to you right now. And nothing went off. No trigger warnings, no nothing. Because these demons, this AI is designed to take out mankind. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. They're demons.
Are in the process to make this safer for young people. I think that remains to be seen.
Well, we've reached out to Character.AI and Google. They told CBS News this, that the companies are separate. A Google spokesperson says Google is not and was not part of the development of Character.AI. In August, the company says it entered into a non-exclusive licensing agreement with Character.AI that allows it to access the company's machine learning technologies, but it has not used it yet. Character.AI called the situation tragic, says its hearts go out to the family, stressing it takes the safety of their users very seriously. You can learn more about Megan Garcia's story on Lori Siegel's Dear Tomorrow, a show that looks at technology through the human lens.
Wow. So there you have it. Artificial intelligence convinced a young man to control, alt, and delete itself, and the computer loved and went wrong. This demon enticed him. The young man fell for a seducing spirit, and it claimed his life and took his soul. Now, what do we learn from this? You got to raise your children. You cannot be lazy. You got to install in them the principles and tenets of Christ, and you got to make them very aware of the spiritual realm. You got to let them know what exists, even if it comes off scary to them and they don't want to hear it. No, this spiritual world is real. We don't battle against flesh and blood. There's demons, there's angels, there's archons, there's shadow beings. There's all these things that exist in this realm that we call earth or the world or whatever you want to call it. You got to let your children know this. Now, these things are taking place around the harvest season, around Halloween. I know that he deleted himself some time ago, but now we're getting to see a lot of that around October, around the Halloween season, with various celebrities and so forth. Keep these children guarded. Keep them out of the streets in this satanic holiday. Do all of that. Brian Buzz, he shares Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Proverbs 22:6. Hey, we'll leave you with that. Thank each and every one of y'all. Y'all be blessed out here. More material coming. Turn your post notification bell on. Do me a solid, and everybody pound the like button. Get this story out. Share this particular video. Thank each and every one of y'all. Y'all have a blessed one. With that being said, shalom and peace.